drag race time. Today we have got a hyper naked shootout. So we have got the kind of new breed of ridiculous horsepower, basically a sports bike with no fairing, super naked bikes that we think are going to be a pretty close match down the runway. So first up, we've got Kawasaki ZH2. It is a bruiser. Now this is a proper kind of muscle bike, if you like. It's not designed to be the fastest thing around the track. It's designed to have ridiculous horsepower and scare you a bit. And that it does. 200 horsepower. It's a little bit weighty at 239 kilos, but with the massive amount of torque and spread of power available from the supercharged engine, I think this one's going to be pretty hard to beat today. With me, I've got some assistants because I can't ride 3 bikes at the same time. So first up, we've got brother Ant. He is riding KTM Super Duke R. Ant, come on, what you got?
It's orange to start with, so that's always a winner in my book.
That's a good start.
It's a V-twin, so we should get some torque. And then we've got 177 horsepower and 205 kilos wet.
That is a ridiculous amount of power for a V-twin, isn't it?
It does like to wheelie.
It does, it is a wheelie beast. They've made, now the Super Duke R, they've made them gradually better each year they've produced them and more sports bike-like. The first one was pretty leery, so we've done some drag racing with this already. I think if I can get off the line, it'll be doing well, but yeah, we'll see.
There we go.
And on the end, we all know Chad, everyone knows Chad. Chad, what have you got for us and how much horsepower has it got, mister?
So I'm down on horsepower compared to you guys, so I'm just shy of 170 brake, but this is essentially a naked R1. So this is a bike that is winning in World Supers and BSB, where you've got kind of trinket toys. This is just a naked superbike, and everybody knows how good this engine is, and everybody knows how good it is off the turn. So with my superior skill and this superior bike,
here we go.
yeah, it's drivable, it's rideable. The configuration of this engine makes it easy. I think it'll be the easiest to get off the line. So if we can get off the line and get ahead of you two, then as long as it stays there, I think this is a good contender.
I'm Yamaha mounted. TC off, power full, race mode. So Al's doing the 3-2-1, so Chris can't cheat.
Yes! Supercharger! It's the true and righteous path. Well done, little Kawasaki.
Shit start on the last one. Whoa, 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 Chris, you're a bit far forward.
3, 2, 1, go!
There was some definite cheating in that one.
It's pretty clear that this won every time there, didn't it?
I don't think it gets the initial, but
No.
as soon as it starts to spin, then
Supercharger for the win.
yeah, and it don't like crawl by, does it?
No.
It's like
No, it's not even close. Like it's,
It's not like-
which is mad, really, because I mean, this is obviously the most powerful one of the three. This is 200 horsepower,
but heavy.
but 240 kilos, and I thought that would kill it here,
Yeah.
but it doesn't.
But then again, the weight is probably allowing you to get it down, where Ant's looks like he's going. If it was a competition, so you could go straight up.
The KTM has got that rip.
then Ant's won it.
Even when I predicted the start a little,
Predicted the start. Do you like that?
Said Stuart Higgs.
still came back past me like a rocket.
Yeah, because you'd gone. Like me and Chad were still doing our knitting.
I thought it was lunch or something because they hear a bell.
So between you two, was that pretty much always the quickest,
Yeah,
except
this
when
was
he cheated?
This was the quickest, but I think it's down to this being easier to launch.
Yeah. Can we talk about the elephant in the room here?
Well, you can.
I did that first run back and did a big victory wheelie all the way back down the runway, which I think I've done on every bike I've ever bought here. There is a crosswind today.
Yeah.
And I did land crossed up and a bit lent over. I don't know, I was in 4th gear. So
not slow.
it was fast. And yeah, I thought I was going to die. Oh, that was bad. That was one of the biggest moments, and I think that's where it's easy to forget. This thing's ballistically quick, really, really good fun actually when you're just messing around on it.
Yeah.
But it's a 240 kilo bike.
You notice a tank slapper when your arms come off the bars.
Yep.
The GoPros refuse to work.
Yep.
And the exhaust actually disconnects itself.
Yep. Yeah. Does that qualify it?
I mean, that I've never had a tank slapper where I've actually parts of the bike have left each other going, we are going to hit a fence. Every man for themselves.
I don't know. I was not far behind it. I was considering my options of where I was going to get off. That properly frightened me.
All I saw was a lot of blue smoke and then a faint waft of fear, followed by a smell that I don't want to smell ever again.
Yeah. And then the obligatory no front brake because I'd had such a big tank slapper, end of the runway approaching.
And then I rode really sensibly back.
I'm going to ride really sensibly for the rest of my life after that. I think that's the one place that lets the Kawasaki down. It is what it is, but it does such a good impression of being like one of these super sports naked bikes. Like those naked bikes now, they're full on sports bikes with wide bars. And this does such a good impression of that up to a point, and then 239 kilos just pops up and goes cooey. Swap bikes, next race. We were just having a conversation that having no quick shifter on the Yamaha does make it harder to get cleanly through the gears. These things are all so quick. When you're on the absolute limit of acceleration, doing a clean shift is hard.
It just does that.
Yeah. And then
if only it had one.
and then we spotted something that looked like a quick shifter on the side of it and realised that in the menu we've set up we got the quick shifter turned off. So we're saying we're not putting blame on any individual person.
Only the person who brought it here first.
Only the person who rode it first. So I'm going to turn the quick shifter on the Yamaha, and we'll see how it goes.
Make sure the rest are on full power as well.
Professional journalists at work. Massive thanks to our good mates over at B-Moto for sponsoring these videos, giving us the opportunity to rent out an airfield and go flat out on some awesome bikes. If you've got your bike insurance renewal coming up, give them a shout. Every time I've given a recommendation to a mate so far, I've had nothing but good news back from it. So rather than just testing myself, I've been putting people their way. Fire into B-Moto, give them a chance to get you a quote, and if it's a good experience, let us know. If it's a bad experience, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Bottom line is, they're an insurance company that were happy to sponsor us doing drag racing on road bikes. What's not to like about that? Right, that's enough of the hard sell. If you want an insurance policy for your bike, call B-Moto on this number down here and it will get you the Bike World discount. Tell them we sent you.
Time for some KTM power. Now the hard bit of the KTM is you're stopping it from like basically spinning over its back end. We keep the front end down, we should do alright. So it's little revs, not big revs. And then get the clutch out, and then hopefully there's no cheating.
KTM this time. I've done a few drag races on this one. It's a bike I know. Ant is on the MT. Chad's on the ZH2. But this thing, if you can get a launch at it, is quick. Kawasaki is so fast, and Chad was out the gates like a bolt there. That Kawi is fast. Wow. Done. We've survived, and the question has been answered. Out of these three bikes, Yamaha's MT-10, KTM's 1290 Super Duke R, and the Kawasaki ZH2, which is the fastest on a drag strip? straight line race, pretty much no question, ZH2. We did all the races, we all jumped around, jumped on different bikes to even out the differences in riders' skill and weight and how quick you could get the thing off the line each time. And then I went in and did all of the bikes with a data logger on them. And without question, the ZH2 was the quickest. If you got a good launch on the Kawasaki, you were away, no drama. If you didn't get a good launch, it was still actually possible to reel in the other two on it, wasn't it? Even when you fluffed the start and got too much wheelie,
Yeah.
it'd pull them back in. That said, we did a few roll-on tests as well on the way back, just 30 mile an hour second gear, 50 mile an hour second gear, and pretty much every time the KTM, in that initial snap of the throttle, just romped away. It just got that punch, which, if you could argue that on the road, when you're that overtaking traffic punch, that thing will make better progress for sure.
Yeah.
The other two take a little bit of spooling up. It's not even spooling up, it's a supercharged bike, but there's that little bit of getting it going.
Yeah.
And then they pass it.
But I think the more practice you had on the KTM, the more your times came down.
Exactly.
I think that was the same with both, but your first launch on this was a good time, your second launch, good time, third launch.
Yeah. If we literally had no practice and had to jump on them and go, the MT10 would have won. But once you got some practice on the other two. So let's summarise it. Kawasaki's the winner.
Yep.
KTM second, MT10 third place, but not far off. The actual times will pop up on the screen now. Chad, what one would you take home? MT10?
MT10.
Yeah, why is that?
I just like its drivability, usability. I feel like I could ride this bike all day. And I have ridden it on track at Cadwell. I've ridden it before in the past, and I just know it's just a brilliant road bike. Sounds good. Quick shifter works.
Quick shifter works when you turn it on. The numpties we are.
And it's just the easiest to ride, and it's got just shy of 170 horsepower.
It's not slow, is it?
And it's like 0.2 behind that and 0.3 behind that.
Yeah, there's bugger all in it, really.
Yeah.
Go on then, bruv. What would you have?
I was in KTM camp, but I'm on the MT10 as well now. We're going to have a fight as to who takes it home. But
Well, that's me lost.
The noise of that thing. I remember when that cross-plane crank engine came out, and you can't beat that sound.
Good.
It is beautiful.
See, I'm actually split between these two. Sensibly, the MT10's the easiest one to ride and the best everyday bike. But I want a Hyper Naked to kind of scare me and excite me a bit. I'm leaning towards the Kawasaki because it scares me and excites me the most. I know the KTM's, for me, I prefer the KTM as a road bike. And if I was going to do track days as well, it'd be the KTM hands down.
Yeah.
But just as a pure hooligan bike on the road, this thing is obscene. I'd have this until I lost my license. And then once my license came back, I'd go to the KTM Super Duke.
But that'd be like 3 days.
So there we are, Bike World Drag Race. I had a blast today seeing which of these is the quickest. If you want to see something else drag race in the future, fire it in the comments below. We'll see if we can make it happen. We're off to go and race some old bikes, some touring bikes, and anything else that stays still long enough for us to launch it.